Welcome back to another investing live stream. Today, I'm going to start by answering your questions and give you kind of a general tip. And then, of course, we'll go through our regular deal analysis. We'll start with those of you that are in escrow. And remember, if you've written an offer, you can also take advantage of posting in the deal analysis escrows section. So basically, if you put pen to paper, you get top priority, which makes sense because that's when you're in generally the most hurry because your time frames and clocks are ticking. But anyway, the first thing that I really wanted to start with is I wanted to remind you, if you are not yet, if you're in the United States, use the Redfin app and turn on notifications for the thing. If you're not aware, and I'll just pull it up on the screen here really quick. Let's see here. Redfin. You can, when you create a search on Redfin, you can actually create a search for fixers only as well, which is pretty beautiful. Let's see if we can find it quickly here. So let's see here. There we go. All right, so let's maximize the screen here. There we go. All right, here is just an example of Ventura on Redfin, and my favorite button here is this Fixer Uppers Only, which it kind of helps you out, especially when you're getting started in a new area. Just sort of narrow down to the listings that agents themselves have indicated were Fixer Uppers. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're Fixer Uppers. Sometimes they're pretty basic. Sometimes they're pretty they're pretty bad. So you're going to get a little bit of everything. Let's just look as a quick example here. What is this? Okay, so this is $500,000. It's listed as a fixer-upper. What do we got? Looks like a fixer-upper. So in this case, look at that. You got a quick cosmetic wedge with the push of a button. And what did that take us? 30 seconds or whatever. And you could tell it's pretty cosmetic. When was this thing built? This thing was built in 76. So, you're at the end of the lead and asbestos era. You're in copper plumbing era. You're usually in, slab foundation era. Sometimes you even started seeing post-tension slabs. So some easy ways, or I guess an easy way to try to narrow down at least a little bit. So, all right, let's go ahead and answer some of your questions and then jump on over into deal analysis. Keep in mind, folks, I will be in San Francisco on November, was it 14th or 16th? Something like that. It's down, there it is, down below in the description. November 16th, I'll be in San Francisco, and then we'll be doing the Vegas event in February. All right, so first question. In the last live stream, I posted a deal, but I deleted it because I found a new deal I'm doing. I'm about to post it on deal analysis. I currently sent them an offer. Awesome. So A1 Digest, just take a screenshot of page 1 of your offer, post it in deal analysis escrows, and then I'm going to go down deal analysis escrows first after these questions. Kevin, what are your thoughts on investing into rent to retirement and a roof stock? I know you say own where you live or own where you live. Wondering if anyone has used these platforms. So, I have not heard of rent to retirement. We can do a quick glance here at it and let's see what it is. Oh, it's a turnkey real estate company. So I personally do not like turnkey real estate companies, and I'm going to be releasing a lecture on November 1st regarding turnkey real estate. But the long and short of it is, turnkey real estate companies, and I don't know if that's what this is, but usually companies that are trying to basically give you a property that you can rent out are selling you a market value property. Rather than buying that a remodel property, you'd be better off just buying new construction because you're paying market value either way, except this way you're not just taking somebody else's lipstick, so to speak. At least if I do a renovation and I know that I didn't replace the windows, I'm not surprised when the windows are old. Now, I know there are a lot of times we could say, oh, well, you could do an inspection on turnkey real estate. But the bottom line is, when you're investing in turnkey real estate, you're paying somebody else market value, and you're not getting any kind of wedge. So again, rather buy new construction. That way, if you don't want to deal with renovations, you don't want to deal with the work or whatever, it's no problem. You don't have to. But something very important to know as far as a roof stock, I believe, what is this? Investing in single family rental properties, radically simple. This is like investing in shares of properties, I believe it was. And again, a similar thing to me, except I've only briefly looked into roof stock. You have to keep in mind now you oftentimes have additional fees as well, where these fees could more than make up for you finding your own deal and hiring a property manager in your own area and netting significantly more. So, things to keep in mind, but definitely keep an eye out for that turnkey real estate lecture. What else do we have here? How do you estimate interior paint job? Well, I mean, the best I don't use cost per square foot. I know some painters do, but to me, the way I generally run the numbers is just based on prior experience. So when I have the same painter bid similar properties over and over again, I have a pretty good idea what he's going to charge on the next property. So, to me, there's no benefit to really estimating the stuff yourself. You should have other people estimate your jobs for you and then sort of get used to where those numbers keep coming in, and then relying on that data to help you when you're budgeting for a renovation. I'm in the Bay Area, was pre-approved for 540. Cheapest thing around here is 500 for a crappy apartment or high HOA. Should I look all over the Bay Area? I mean, there's nothing necessarily wrong with starting with a studio or one bedroom or something small. There's nothing wrong with that because you got to start somewhere. And at least you get on the ride of real estate wealth, accruing wealth through principal pay down and controlling real estate, rent increases over time. Now you're going to be able to hop on over to your next property within a year or two, jump on over to a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and keep moving up. In time, you create your portfolio. So I don't think there's anything wrong with starting small. How much do you pay for landlord insurance? Yeah, I mean, CIG is a very popular provider out here, and all over really the country, they seem to be a pretty popular provider. Usually, I mean, it's just dependent on property value, but a $500,000 place usually runs like $50 a month for landlord insurance. So, who knows? Maybe it's like percentage based. I'm sure it is all percentage based, but like a $700,000 property, it's like $70 a month. When is the best time to, oh, here. Hi from Germany. If you invest in different properties with different people, would you recommend an LLC? Well, it depends. I mean, if you're investing with partners, usually there's a general partner. Not always, but oftentimes there's a general partner, which is good because, they have the ultimate liability or unlimited liability. And then oftentimes they can get better financing because somebody's actually signing on the debt. Yeah, you can do partnerships with LLCs, and that's also a very common strategy. But you got to ask yourself why are you doing partners? What's your involvement going to be, and what are your expectations of other people? If you're just putting up money and you're looking for a place to invest, sure, maybe that could be a way to do it. But if you're coordinating, let's say a renovation, you've got a bunch of partners, and you got somebody going, oh well, I'll do labor for you or whatever. Just be very careful because people can talk a lot more excitedly about a partnership before it's actually a partnership. So I'm usually wary of partnerships. When is the best? In other words, uh, nicht tun. Oftentimes, how I feel. All right. So, when is the best time to get an umbrella insurance policy? Maybe when you have multiple rentals. Yeah, I mean, an umbrella policy, even on one rental property, can extend the limits of your liability on your car, your personal residence, and your one rental property. So, it's all about extending those limits. So, I'd probably get an umbrella along with my first rental. Hey, Kevin, what inspection would you recommend for an 1890s to 20s building? Those are very common in the New York City area. Usually this age, you want to see how much of the knob and tube has been replaced. You've got a lot of underlying lead paint, oftentimes, but oftentimes it's been so coated over that it doesn't even matter anymore. And the biggest thing to me is really the foundation for the 1890s to 1920s properties. Don't know how applicable that's going to be to New York City because you don't have earthquakes like we do. But I imagine over time you're going to have more potential for water intrusion into basements and more sort of soil issues that over the long run have caused more issues. So those are probably the biggest things. Electrical, obviously plumbing. So electrical, plumbing, and structure. Can you get a line of credit on your mutual fund portfolio? You should be able to. I know Wealthfront does it. You click a few buttons and transfer money over from your investment. So I imagine it depends where your mutual fund is. Any Portland event? Nope. Right now it's just San Francisco and Vegas. So come on down. I have the opportunity to get a property in an A neighborhood for 165. It needs 20K. It's worth 240. I don't have the cash to buy it. Yeah, I mean that sounds like an excellent deal if these numbers line up. It only needs 20K worth of work, you're saying, and then you're going to have about a 60, 55, $60,000 wedge. So I like that deal a lot. The way to do that is you need to hook up with hard money lenders in your area and talk to your agents, talk to your local lenders for hard money financing, or quite frankly, if it comes down to it, just Google hard money financing if you need money fast. So yeah, no kidding on Tesla stock. But yeah, the big thing is, or find some hard money. And I don't, what's stopping you from being able to get a 30-year fixed rate loan and then just borrowing the down payment? So that way, at least you're having conventional financing on most of the deal. Something else to consider and to look into. So can you get an FHA loan on a fixer upper if you plan on living in it? Yeah, absolutely. And if it's too much of a fixer, you could get a renovation loan style fixer as well, the 203K. What do you think as Shopify as a side business? It depends. You have to be careful. Any real side hustle, most of the time ends up taking up more of your time and money than if you maximize the potential at your primary job. So you have to ask yourself, is the new job you're moving into, does it have the potential of making you more money than what you're doing now? And if it does, then move. You don't have to do both. I know it's common for people to say out there, "Oh, never quit your first line of income." But honestly, I think that's silly. If you're a teacher making $40,000 and now you can do a Shopify drop shipping business and make 100, stop teaching and do more drop shipping. If you're making 100K now and you could work towards a promotion, then that's what I'd probably work on before I'd start a side business. So, yeah, CEO, honestly, I mean, you're better off posting in Discord. I've caught up on general and fine. Which two did I caught up on general, tenants, and personal finances, and I'm going to move on to financing and renovations next. So I'm always trying to do my best to respond in Discord, but that's way a priority over Instagram, is you guys in the course. I've been calling inspectors and they say they don't report illegal add-ons to a home. Do you believe that? You mean like home inspectors? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, people inspecting a property, they're not supposed to run to the city and report you. Yeah, I do believe that. Kevin, what are your thoughts on a new construction for a first-time home buyer? I think it's a wonderful idea. It's easy for you to house hack. You can house hack it immediately. You don't have to worry about renovations. It gets you into ownership sooner. It's great. I mean, it makes it tough to get into a wedge deal because once you start with new, it's hard to go back to old. You know what I'm saying? So I'd prefer to see you go into something that needs work first. But what I do is I would just get pre-approved, go put a deposit down on a new construction house and look for wedge deals in the meantime. If a wedge deal comes up, take your money out of that new construction deal and go over to the wedge deal. You know what I mean? So you got lots of options. Do you have a quick way to estimate different levels of repair costs? A speech. No, I mean that spreadsheets are terrible for estimating repair costs. There's no way you could do that because you have to rely on local labor. So there is no quick way to do it. I can tell you, when I walk through a property, I might look and say, all right, that furnace is going to cost me $2,500. The panel is going to cost me $2,200. The floor is going to cost me $8,000. But I only know those numbers because I know I can pick up the phone and actually make it happen. It does no good if I say it costs $2,500 to do a furnace and you're in New York City and it costs you $3,800 to do that. So these sort of like, I've seen these national spreadsheets before where people pick up a spreadsheet and then they pass them out at open houses here in California. And I go, panel change out $1,500. I go, yeah, right, not in California. And it's like worthless. It's not even worth the time that people took to do it. Yeah, you're welcome to ask questions on Instagram. I'm just being upfront with you. I am very, very slow at responding on Instagram because my priority is live streams and then Discord. And then there's a gap, like a large gap, and then Instagram DMs. But I do try my best to get back to the Instagram DMs, but not before Discord, our Discord here, our private group. Do you do all the renovation work yourself, or do you normally hire a handyman to replace for you? No, I always hire different sort of groups of people. So I've got a drywall guy, I've got the paint guy, I've got a floor guy, I've got a handyman guy, I got the next handyman guy, and then I got another handyman guy, and then I got a contractor that when he's running out of work, he'll call me up and say, "Hey, Kevin, you got any work?" I go, "Oh, well, I just so happen to need a repair over there, over there, or over there," and kind of give him a list and knock it out. Okay, so got a pre-approval, but nervous about making an offer. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be nervous. I would follow the leadership of your agent to help you out. Do you recommend moving your rental property from my? Yeah, I'm releasing a lecture November 1st on LLCs. There's already a lecture on LLCs, but there'll be a lecture November 1st to go into some more detail on this. Now, let's jump on over into deal analysis. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do deal analysis escrows here. Let's see here. Hold on. Thoughts in general. Okay. We're going to start with Benjamin's post here in deal analysis escrow. All right, let's pull it up and share it here. Okay, these are the comps. Here's the listing. Okay. All right, so pending. Let's see what we got. Let's share this. Let's see. How do we want to do this today? Let's push this button. Here we go. And I will move, or we'll, there we go. All right, so let's do this analysis here. So we got a St. Petersburg, Florida deal. It's listed at $190,000. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,123 square feet. Hurry, this one won't last. Okay, it was on the market for 10 days, so I guess they were right. It did not. Let's see what we got here. Nice weather for the picture day. That sucks. So here's like a little add-on. This little room back here kind of looks like this room. Do you want to check for permits on this? Let's see here. Always close the toilet bowl when you take pictures. Or the toilet lid. All right, what do we got here? This is interesting. A little cabinet. Okay. All right, 1-car garage. Is that it? Yeah, 1-car garage. Okay. All right, so let's see what comps you have and details you have. So here's what we've got. We have, there we go. We got that aligned nicely. So Benjamin says, the screened-in porch is converted into an addition, right? Yep, check if it's permitted. The master bathroom has a door that leads into the garage. Yeah, so that bathroom, that was done in certain neighborhoods. That was normal. I know that might sound weird, but I'll tell you that was normal for a period of time where they did do that. They would put the garage access through the master bedroom or bathroom. So that's not uncommon. Check to see what else is going on in the neighborhood, if that's common for the neighborhood. And if it is, I wouldn't worry so much about it. So similar properties seem to have sold for $200,000, while this asking price is $190,000. I offered $170,000. They countered at $185,000 and settled for $180,000. So you're in escrow for $180,000, and you've got comps maybe somewhere around $200,000. All right, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you've got 2 comps here, or 3 comps. Okay. This is the deal that you're in escrow for $180,000. It's a 2 and 2, 1,123 square feet. Let's pull your location first. Always start with location. So this is interesting. I like this sort of circle shape they've got going on here. It looks cool on the maps. So St. Petersburg. Okay, northern part, just about by Tampa here. All right, so you're further off the main street over here, which is good. You've got a park here, Winn-Dixie, McDonald's, Bank of America, Dunkin', good, LA Fitness. I like the amenities around this particular property. This is good. And there don't seem to be any particular yeah buts here. Now, the comps that you have, this is actually not a bad comp. It's a little bit closer to the busy street here, but it is also a 2 and 2. It's slightly smaller, sold for 200 just recently, about a month ago. This is really your best comp. It is, I'd say, probably slightly more updated with this tiling and the cabinetry here. This bathroom's okay. They've got a little outside enclosure as well. But if I would say they don't seem to have the add-on that yours does. If your square footage does not include that add-on, that could be some nice bonus value if it was permitted. So in other words, if that house is 1,123 square feet, and then you could add another 200 for that add-on, that's good if it's legal. Then I really like it. Then this is going to comp out nicely. For a 180 buy, it might be worth 210, 220. But if this add-on, let's say it's illegal, and they added it into the square footage, that is, you technically only have a 900 square foot house and an illegal add-on of 200 square feet, then that's bad, really bad, and might be a sign of basically probably overpaying a little bit. So find out the way it was measured, the square footage, and then find out that legality. Those 2 things will be very, very important for you. All right, moving on. Let's see. Let's go on here. My question's too long. Does fit? Yeah, just break up your question, and we'll go through it. So next we've got yeah, and I agree with JD about comps being all over the place. All right, so let's see the next one here. Well, Rena, okay, been on the market for over a year. Initial estimate, now it's at 3. We both agree. Okay, so Ronaldo has one here. Let's analyze his deal. So let me tag Benjamin. Responding about 17 men in. Okay, and then Ronaldo. Responding about 20 men in. All right. So let's pull this one up. Let's see what we've got. So this deal, they settled on $280,000. No major work that needs to be done. All the houses are old, but the ones that are renovated are going for over 300. So you got one for 280. All right. And renovated properties are going for over 300. Well, let's see what we got. And this is in Jacksonville, Florida. All right, here we go. So this is it, Jacksonville, Florida. Second Florida one today. Let's take a peek here. We got the property, the interior. It's got the older parquet flooring. Wow, look at those red outlets, the red baseboards, the red kind of crown trim. Definitely needs a little bit of neutralizing. Custom kind of mosaic going on by the kitchen sink and also the backsplash. A little less neutral. They're really into getting their red pop in. Okay, look at the doors painted a different color than the molding here. You've got some water staining. The property needs a little bit of love. Definitely needs a little bit of love. I mean, for this kind of property, paint, cosmetics, it seems pretty cosmetic depending on what that roof leak reveals. Built in 65, check the sewer. It's a good Orangeburg era. So the issue here is we want to make sure the comps are at least remodeled, not 3. They've got to be like 320, 330, or 340 for me to feel like super excited about this one. So a little bit below San Jose Apartments. You've got apartments here. All right. Wells Fargo. You've got restaurants. Okay. Italian, barbershop, schools. Got it. Now let's see the comps that you have. Let's see what you gave us here. You gave us comps 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So your deal, let me just make sure, let me pull up the live chat really quick. Let's see here. Give me 1 second here just to pull up chat. And that way, in case y'all have questions right in the meantime that are urgent, I can pop in. Okay. So let's hit the comps now. I've got the chat up. Comps on this deal. Okay. So this deal is 2543 square feet. Always the most important thing, square footage. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2543 square feet. You've got a property here at 2,700 square feet. You gave me a comp at 3,200 square feet. It's going to be too large for us to use. We've got a 2,400 square footer and another 26. Okay, well, let's see what the closest one actually sold for. So this was a couple hundred square feet larger, sold for 460. Wow. I mean, that's good. That I like. How did this sell for 460? Oh, this has got to be like newer construction because this is a beautiful remodel. Built in 83. Okay, so it's actually not surprisingly that much newer. It does have a pool, which is going to increase the value, but this is a beautiful remodel. This is a very good comp. Completely remodeled, but hey, you know what? I like this. So this is good. Sorry if it's cutting off that picture a little bit here. There we go. It's a little better there. So I like this one. This isn't bad. Then let's see here. This again, too large. It's odd to me though that the property that's so similar in square footage sold for 460,000. So there's clearly a difference in neighborhood here. These 60s and 70s properties are selling for a lot less. And this is significantly larger than the one you're looking at. It's not like extremely renovated, which is good, but I'd really like to find another one closer to you. This is probably going to be the next best comp. So this is it's a nice remodeled kitchen, flooring, baseboards, crown molding, outlets. Gosh, I mean, this one's nicely done too. Bathroom, the tiling, shutters in the bedrooms, large lot. This is a nice remodel, and for this to sell for 330, and yours is what, maybe 100 square feet larger than this one? 280, 330. It's a $50,000 spread, but for you to make yours look like theirs, you'd probably spend 50. I don't know how jazzed I am. I think there might be a small wedge here, maybe $10,000, $20,000, depending on how much you spend. If you spend 30, maybe there'd be that one-to-one wedge, but this one's slightly borderline. Maybe, say you get it for 280, you put 30 in with your closing costs, you're into it for 310, maybe it's a 335 property. So be careful here. I would do your inspections very thoroughly. Don't get too attached to this property and see what you can negotiate if need be. So let's do a couple of live questions here. Let's see. Questions. Okay. So, okay, we answered that one. We answered this one. I looked into private money in reference to my wedge deal. Monthly interest payment is $1,850, 2 points due up front, $600 fee. Cash out refinance would have me about even with rent. Okay. Well, there's your answer. And if you've got a good deal, then do the reno fast, refinance it fast, and then you're good to go. Having trouble getting pre-approved by a lender because my income isn't guaranteed for 3 years since I will be moving in about a year and won't have an offer letter. Should I try a different lender? Yeah, why does your lender know you're moving? Jobs, right? Okay, so next up is having trouble getting. Okay, we answered that one. Okay, dilemma with my HELOC. It's been approved, final stage at title search, but somehow the loan processor is having an issue with the status on the application. Borrower is single and co-borrower is separated. Cannot input as separate, so she needs to input as single or unmarried. Even though co-borrower is married but separated. Spouse. Yeah, so I. That sounds like an extremely niche question, and I would try to talk to the management of the bank, the underwriting or the lending management, because it's a very niche question. I think that's going to be something that it sounds solvable, but that's going to be up to that bank to figure out how to solve that on your loan problem there. So, Kevin, I'm interested in a house that has an unpermitted half bath. How difficult is it to get a permit approved for existing unpermitted work? Extremely difficult. Sometimes you have to take it down to the foundation. You have to prove that it meets 2019 code. So if this place was built in 2015, they can make you remove the drywall, show that the studs were done correctly, the nailing on the drywall was done correctly, the foundation holds, the tie downs were done correctly. It's a disaster. I probably wouldn't touch it, honestly, unless I was getting a massive discount. Basically, I'd want to discount the value of me just having to rebuild the thing. Probably more, honestly. Hey, Kevin, quick question about what you stated. If the add-on is permitted, and I believe the I believe it added onto the square footage represented in the listing, is that still not? No, 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 no. So, I mean, if it's permitted and the square footage is, part of that $1,100 or 1,100 square feet, it's tough because your best comp is then about 100 square feet bigger than yours. It squeezes the wedge a little bit, but it's okay. In that case, I'd still be interested in the deal if it's permitted. I would just be very careful with my inspections, make sure I do a very, very thorough search and see if I need to ask for any money off the deal. I'm not going to feel bad about walking away. I don't see it as a massive wedge beyond what I already calculated out. Not saying you have to wait for that. By no means do I want to encourage you to sit around and do nothing. It's probably a great property and something you can get moving into and house hacking right away. So if it's added on though and permitted, I'm much more happy than an illegal add-on. So from what I understand, you have to yes for FHA. So the intention when you buy a property with FHA is you need to intend to occupy the property for a year. So you intend to occupy the property for a year. If you then get up and find a wedge deal 6 months into you living there, that's okay. But you have to sign saying that you intend to occupy the property for a year. So how old of a property are you comfortable buying? I usually try not to buy anything really older than 1950. 50, mostly because in California we have earthquakes. And anything really before the 50s suffers a lot more earthquake damage when and if a big shaker comes. That's not to say I wouldn't consider older property in an area that didn't have earthquakes, but it depends. Then if you have hurricanes, it's something else to consider. Do I need a lease in place on my current residence to use the income for the next property? Yeah. Well, usually they can use the income, they project the income, but usually they do want a lease in place before you close. So we have lectures on that. So go through the lectures and you'll see exactly how to set that up. It is something that I have experience with. I do it all the time. Watch those lectures because they answer that question for you in detail, and we'll show you exactly how to plan for that and get through that. All right, let's move on. Let's do another deal here. Let's see here. Hold on one second. This is killing me. Just give me 1 second here. Let me turn this off. 1 sec. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Discord behind me was just going off with a little notification sound that drives me nuts. All right, so okay. Michael responded to you in live. All right. So Rev D has another deal here that he just posted. It's a foreclosure. What did you get that deal into escrow? Hold on. I sent them an offer for 230. Okay, you did. All right. So let's see what we've got here. Rev D. Let's answer his deal. And then we'll go to the general deal analysis here. So responding about 30 min in. So Rev D has a deal. It is a foreclosed property. It's a nice property in a good neighborhood with average incomes of 80K, good demographics with 30% future job growth, very low vacancy. Good. Built in 2005. Awesome. Rents are $2,200 for the current condition. I would renovate the property, then get an appraisal from the bank for a new value and rent it out. Would I be able to increase the rent from $2,200 to what would you say? What do you think about the property as a whole? I sent them an offer for $230, but if they don't budge, would the asking price be good? This would be my first ever rental property. All right, so let's take a look at the deal. Ordinarily, I would ask that you post comps as well. And the link here does not work for your listing, but it looks like I could see it. It is 852 Dover Street, Pine Grove, IL. Okay, let's see if we can find it. Okay, here we go. So you sent him an offer for $230,000. It's 249.9, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 3,100 square feet. The immediate danger I see is it looks like it's closer here. It's not like a massively busy road, but it does back up to this road here. So slightly less desirable, although that road seems to service just these neighborhoods here. Although this one possibly as well, depending on which way people come in. So, consideration there for you. But let's see what the actual comps are. You did not post the actual comps. Ordinarily, I would want you to see or you to post the actual comps. But I'm just going to go ahead and make an exception right now, and then we're going to get into the regular deals here. Let's see what you've got in terms of sold comps. You've got a sold comp right next door. And the sold comp, yours is 3,100 square feet. You got a sold comp of 2,500 square feet from 18 at 285. I mean, based on what you offered, it seems like a great deal. You got a 275 comp here, also an older comp. You've got a 279 comp, a 219 comp. These look pretty new though. Home ready for quick move in. These are almost brand new, aren't they? I'm pretty sure these are brand new. So you got to be careful. You've got newer construction down here as well competing with you, although your deals seem to be pretty new, which is good. Let's see. When was yours built? I think you said, what was it, like 05? Yeah, 05. So yours was built in 05, which I like that. I like the newer. I think that's great. Just be careful if that newer construction is starting to sell for low. You're getting a lot of this kind of 270s around here. You don't want to overpay. And if you're offering, what are you offering? What'd you say you offer? 230? I don't think, maybe you didn't say it. Okay. Well, if you're offering, I thought you said 230. I'm just going to go with that. If you're offering $230,000 on this deal, at 249 is what it's listed for. You have to have cash offers, is what they're saying. All right, we'll see. Maybe you can get that together. At 3,100 square feet, I do like it. It's much larger than the other comps that we're seeing here. Just be careful though. Look at this. Here's a 299 brand spanking new. So you've got a lot of competition in the area. Let's quickly see rentals. Rental comps are something you'll usually have to ask your realtor for, but let's see what potential you have for increases. You've got a property here that rented for 2350. It's slightly smaller than yours, but it looks to be new construction. Nah, it's not brand spanking new. This could actually be an '05 comp for you. It's hard to tell because we don't see it. We don't actually see the data here. So if they actually got this, that's not bad. Maybe that will help you sort of boost the rent a little bit. But just be careful. As soon as you start planning on refinancing and bumping the rent too high, you can run into some more risky situations. So keep that in mind. You want tenants that stay for the long term. You're not trying to milk every last little $50 in rent increase. But in reality, I would absolutely repaint the property, brighten up those baseboards, maybe replace some light fixtures, paint the doors white. And it's hard to tell the condition of the carpet. If it's good for a tenant, then maybe rent it the way it is. But definitely some light fixtures, some paint, some basic cosmetic work. And to me, I mean, it seems like you could probably spend ten to $15,000 on this deal and have a property that's probably worth in the upper twos. So if you could buy it for 230, love it. Love it, love it, love it. How should I screen neighborhoods for house hacking a multifamily house? Yeah, I mean, we mentioned that we've got lectures on that in the course, how to actually go hunting for neighborhoods. But the first thing that I would really do is talk to your agent and find out what the best deals and agents are, the best areas are. Keep in mind, you're going to go on this multifamily hunt. You're probably going to find that you're going to see good deals in multifamily, maybe 1 out of 100 times for every 100, every 99 single family good deals you find. So ask your local agent, see what kind of wedge deals are available, where are people flipping, and that's where you want to look. And also, what are the most desirable areas? Desirable areas, this is really where you want to look. Low turnover, we should always be thinking of that. Low turnover, tenants want to stay long term. And when they do stay for a longer time. So low turnover, they stay longer periods of time, which I guess is similar. And when properties come up on the market, they sell and rent quickly. Very, very important. All right, moving on to the next deal that we're going to do. Let's see what we've got here. So, deal analysis, we left off with VP after we analyzed multiple other deals here. So, let's go ahead and scroll up. Let's go to VP's deal. We finished that. Kyle, we finished that. So, let's go ahead and jump into Andrew's deal here, who's got a multifamily duplex. So, responding around, what are we responding around? 30, 40, 38 minutes in and in. All right, let's see what we got. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this multifamily deal here. Let's see here. I posted a 14. 1 second. All right, here we go. So this is the deal here. Multifamily duplex. It's a trust sale. I will be attaching the disclosure form to the message if I receive it before posting. Looks like not yet. Yeah, not a yeah, but as you can see, most houses in Chicago are 100 plus years old. Would that deter you from being a long-term investor in these properties? Again, like there's so many great wedge deals you can get on the older properties because just because they're old doesn't mean they're bad. If people have properly maintained the foundation, the electrical, the plumbing, they've updated the expensive stuff, I don't mind. What would deter me is if I had to go in and do all the expensive stuff. Comps in the area are about $400,000, which is $150,000 higher than the asking price. That's awesome. Good. Yeah, make sure you're not jumping into any kind of hidden dangerous repairs that you're going to have to go crazy on fixing up. So let's look at the comps as well. Update, the contractor thinks it needs about 100K to remodel. So be careful too, because a contractor's going to cost you more. Now, I feel like, have we not looked at this before? I feel like we've looked at this property before. It's contingent no-show. Andrew, I think did we look at this in deal analysis? I feel like we've gone through this and it's contingent. And if we have not gone through it, okay. We did look through it. So we've already analyzed this deal. So make sure to check out the live stream when I analyzed Andrew's here. But just for a quick note for folks, it's not uncommon for when you go through some of these deals for you to have contractors that they're going to go high on some of these things because they're looking to see what your motivation is and your willingness is to spend money when oftentimes you can fix a lot of things less expensively. The big thing though is stay away from the structural things, stay away from the expensive, like don't do rewires, don't do replums. If you could stay away from doing this stuff, that's what you want. Stay away. All right, so Christine has a deal. Let's see what Christine's deal is. It's for sale. So Christine, responding 40 min in. So this deal is the HOA fee. It's got an HOA fee of $720. It's a single cottage type unit, been on the market for 551 days. The Zestimate says 441 and selling for $175,000. So be careful with the Zestimate. An Airbnb since it's a hot destination. All right, so let's see what your deal is and what comps you have here. What's going on this deal? Above link from realtor.com, part of the comps. Okay, perfect. So here's the deal you're looking at. It's listed for $175,000. It looks like it backs up to the busier road here. Okay, it doesn't look like it's a highway here, but it's definitely a busier road. Let's see, road. Yeah, this is going to be one of your main roads to get over here to the park and to the beach area here. But okay, maybe not so terrible. I would check it out during rush hour traffic times and see what's going on. Why would this condo be selling for so much less than the Zestimate? Is the Zestimate wrong? We've got some basic cosmetic issues here. No big deal. Cannot believe they took a picture of a cat statue for the listing pictures. Overall, seems very cosmetically challenged, which is not a big deal at all. Built in 1951, it's a condo. The nice thing about condos is usually you don't have to take care of the exterior of the roof, although I would absolutely check because look at all this wood siding. That is a lot of maintenance. So ideally, if the HOA is taking care of all of that, perfect. That's what I would want. I would want the HOA taking care of all this stuff because there's a lot that can be done outside. Find out what they cover. Roof, siding, landscaping, obviously the pool, the playground. If they cover these things, then you're just stuck dealing with the stuff on the inside, which remember your deal is 1,178 square feet. Let's see what you got in terms of comps. You've got this 210 comp that you sent, but realize it's for sale. Hold on here. Yeah, this one's for sale. And so is yours. So it's not much of a comp if it's still for sale. Here's a $350,000 property, but it also seems to be for sale. So I'm not getting good comps here. I haven't gotten any comps yet. I need sold data. And if there's no sold data, then I probably especially don't want it. So that's oftentimes people will say like, oh, well, Kevin, the comps are hard to find. Well, then don't buy it. So here we go. Let's do a little boundary here and see what we have. So look at this. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, wow. Studio, 1 bedroom. Here we go. 2 bedroom. We're trying to find. We're trying to find something around 1,178 square feet. And here we have. See, be careful. It's pulling higher values because you've got these houses around here that are not in the condo neighborhood. This is one of the problems Zillow oftentimes has, is it's going to pull like the 1,700 square foot property that it's suggesting as one of the comps, or one of these similar properties in the area here. That's a single family. So of course, those estimates can be whacked out in this area. And then you've got these smaller properties that are skewing the price per square foot. I really, really need to find a comp of your square footage, and I'm having a lot of trouble. So that's a single family. Golly, for sale, for sale, for sale. This is a house. These are houses again. That's not good. I'm not getting good sold comps here. Let's just see in this area. Okay, here we go. So you got some pending units that are smaller. Wow, everything's for sale. This is weird though. When everything's for sale and not, pending with the exception of these smaller ones, it's a little bit of a red flag. Remember, they're asking 210 for yours, and you've got these small units selling for 159. This is a really tough one to bracket. I would ask your realtor specifically to send you comps and go back, even if you have to go back a couple years, extrapolate median home prices. But this is a very difficult one to comp, and I don't like difficult to comp. If there are no sold comps, it makes me very nervous. Ask your realtor to send you some goodies. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, I don't know. That's a tough one to say. If you can get some realtor generated comps though, somebody that knows that area, I think it's going to help us out a lot. So let's move on to another one here. We've got Nian's deal. Let's do that. Nian's deal is, where is it? Nian. Okay, that was Christine. Here we go. All right, checked out home with my realtor. Had submitted an offer yesterday for 215. Oh, okay. Did we already look at this? Let me just check. Because we may have looked at this in deal analysis escrows. I don't remember looking at this in deal analysis escrows. Nian. I don't believe we did, so that's good. And it doesn't look familiar either. And I don't see your name in one of the replies. Good. Okay. So let's actually look at your deal then here. So it's in Clovis, $224,000. Realtor.com link. We've got built in 1960. It's a single family. It's showing as active. So I'm wondering what the status of your offer is. 1,336 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Okay. Okay. So 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. I mean, this is a kind of like an ideal starter size, which is nice. Let's grab the address here and see what we have. By a Walmart Supercenter, Boot Barn. Good, good. You got a lot going on here. Burlington, the cinema is a mall. You're away from busier streets. I like that. So far, this is good. Let's grab your comps now. Exact model, even better. Okay. And yours is listed for 224. You've got an exact model for 250. And this 250 property, okay, I mean, the 250 property needs a little bit of cosmetic updating too, which is good because that could mean these properties are worth 270, 280 fixed up because that's dated and that's a July 2019 comp I like. Here's one for 255, slightly different model, also somewhat dated, 255. And then you got a 240 here, slightly different model, and we don't have pictures of the inside. So best case scenario, if we could find a flipper in the area here who is selling these properties for like 300 grand and you're able to get this thing for 220 or something like that, that's going to be your wedge. So let me see if I can do a quick search here. And what I'm really looking for is in this particular neighborhood, I'm going to go ahead and cheat a little bit and use the streets as my outline, which I regularly do. And let's see, the highest possible sale that has ever been pulled here so far. Well, that's massive. That's like 2 houses. So, okay, here. No, but that's also way larger, way larger. Uh, I mean, anything, let's just pull down square footage here. Let's go under up to 1,500. The highest is really 255 around here. You're not getting any high sales in the neighborhood, which is a little bit more risky. Just make sure you don't overspend. Because if you buy it for 215, let's say, and you put 30 into it and you're into the deal for 245 and your highest comps are 250 and 255, even though yours is going to look nicer than theirs, you're still going to be hurt by the appraisal if you go to refinance. So I'd like to have some higher brackets or just don't spend as much or get a better deal. So my thoughts on that. All right, that was responded around 47 min in. All right, next, Frank. Frank, I don't see any comps. Frank, let me just reply really quick. Would you mind following the format on the left and repost? Okay, let's go on to the next one there. So next stop is Benjamin. Okay, here we go. So we wrapped up here. Frank's gonna repost with the format. So we're right here. And Luke. Okay, row. So we're gonna respond to this deal. Let's see what this deal brings us. Keep in mind, let me just clarify it. Just one thing. When anytime you are looking at real estate, it should be deathly obvious that you're getting a good deal. If you're questioning it, it's probably not a great deal anymore. I'm going to write that down as a potential to add in the lectures. So it should be obviously a wedge. There we go. With asterisk, I'm going to write this down. Watch, I'll explain this. Asterisk with repairs. So the only time people undervalue the wedge is when they overvalue the renovation. So you go into a deal and you get people that go in and goes, this place needs $150,000. And they're going, we're going to put in new dual pane windows. We're going to redo all the plumbing. We're going to redo all the electrical. We'll do the panel. We'll do this. Well, then any house doesn't look like a good deal. But if you go into a deal and you look, what do I need to do to make this rental grade and bring it back to a marketable condition? It should be obvious that you're getting a wedge deal because the comps should be blatant. They should be in your face. Like, this is without question below market value. And if there are no comps or you're lacking that upper threshold, be careful. Tread lightly. All right. Row, analyzing your deal around 51 min in. Okay. Rose question. Here we go. All right. So it's single family, already has a rent roll of $2,400 a month, large property size, updated electrical, plumbing. Seller is looking for $290. It's listed for $299. Okay, amazing, affordable. So why is he selling it if it's got a solid rent roll? Something always to consider. No pictures of the inside, though it sounds like they've updated some of the structural things, which is nice. Let's see what the comps are, though. Tough to tell without pictures of the inside. So you're trying to get the place for $290, and I'm not sure what the square footage is, which is a little odd. I'm not sure how I'm going to comp it out without square footage. That's weird. There's no square footage listed on this New York property. Let me try a different website because not really. It's a lot harder to start if you don't know what the square footage of the property is. I'll tell you that. Yeah, wow. Not even Redfin shows the square footage of the property. That's odd, honestly. All right. Well, let's see what comps you gave. So you're buying a place for $290, but you threw up a comp of $229. I don't like that. And it's not even sold yet. So then we got another one that's not sold yet for $459. That place looks like it's twice the size. And it looks way newer. And then we've got this place that's 1,567 square feet. At least this one somewhat looks similar in size. Although yours honestly looks smaller than this one. And how far away is this? Let's see. Let's start with that. Let's start with how far away this place is. So 10 Harrison to Sterling Place. It's a different neighborhood. See, you're over here below the 7-Eleven. You're below the highway. You're by the train track. And this is by the cemetery. So these are different areas. Let's try to do some of the comps ourselves. It's going to be difficult without square footage, though, if not nearly impossible, unless I find something that looks pretty much the same. So you got Broadway's here. Okay. All right. Let's draw the boundary just like this. Let me see if I can find some properties in this little box here. And I really just want solds. So let's see what things are selling for here. Of course. There we go. Okay. So the price you were thinking of paying was $290. You got a larger, what looks like at least a larger sold comp at $390. Here's one at $236. Here's a massive 7,600 square foot place. That's not yours. Here's a 660 square foot place. That's 185. That's an apartment. 328. Okay, so here's a good comp. It's hard to tell again because there's no square footage, but I'm just doing this without the square footage here. Here's a single family house that sold for $328,000, and your realtor will be able to tell you. 328. You're looking to pay 290. This is 328. This one sold in July. And it does not seem like it's very far away from yours. It seems slightly larger because it has a the second story, but it's not super updated cosmetically. It could use a little bit of cosmetic love. And it somewhat looks similar to yours with the exception of the fact that yours looks like there's a potential yours could be tiny. I mean, yours might potentially be 500 square feet, where these other ones could be, 1,500 square feet. So let me see if I can look from this side. Is this it? Because this might just be 1,000 square foot house. If that's 1,000 square foot house, and you've got comps like there or even this one or the other one that we saw, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. That's a little rough. Where was the one we just looked at? Not the apartment. Let's see. Was it this one? Yeah. Look at this one. I mean, this property literally looks like it's twice the size of yours, and it's sold for 328. And you're paying 290 for a property that looks like half the size. I mean, spend the extra 40 and get a property that's twice the size. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's see. So, Casey, you've updated your deal. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's see. No dose. Yeah, no, I know. I didn't get the "Don't Sue Me, Bro" mug. Good catch. I've got a habit of using these because Lauren keeps these stacked up next to the coffee machine, and it's just really convenient. On the short sale, I posted we are looking for offer price. This is our first buy and hold. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, yeah. Look, if you make an offer on it, make sure you post over here in the deal analysis escrows category, which is right here. Deal analysis escrows. This is really where you want to be as soon as you make an offer because you get top priority. Probably end up being Tuesday's live stream that I get to that one. So let's see here. Luke has a deal. Luke's deal is in escrow. Deal has yeah, exactly. Okay. Probably inspection report was not good enough after talking about we canceling the deal. We're leaving. On to the next then. Sorry to hear that about your inspection. All right, next deal. Sorry, I just want to quickly reply to everybody to make sure I'm not skipping anybody. Andrew C is next. Andrew C. End of live today. Okay, a little confusing when I type in Andrew C and it changes to Chen796, but okay. I guess that's Discord for you. So there's Andrew T. We want Andrew C. Here we go. Single family deal on septic, but public sewer is in the street. Yeah, that's still going to cost you like 15 grand to hook up to. Popcorn ceiling, previous owner is a smoker, no ducts, baseboard heating. It's okay. That's probably honestly like a 40s property or before if there are no ducts. Why do you think it's a good deal? Smelly carpets, worn floor, smells of smoke. Be careful. Smoky properties can be almost sometimes impossible to get unsmoky. There's some primers you could use, but expect to try to basically cover every inch of that property in like 3 coats of paint to try to get rid of that smell. It can be very difficult. There are deodorizing companies that can help you try, but I don't know. Honestly, like I would have to get a massive discount on a smoker property. So it's 235. Let's see what your comps show. $235,000 for a 1774 square footage property. This is a very good comp size-wise. So you're thinking about offering 220, and you've got a comp that sold last year for 300. Hold on, there's going to be a lot size difference here, isn't there? Maybe not. Let me just verify. So this is half an acre. The comp you gave me is 3/4 of an acre. Okay, I knew that. And then yours was built in 68 and doesn't have ducts. I'm shocked. I'm shocked a 1968 property does not have ducting. That is weird, but okay. Maybe that's normal out there. See, heating type baseboard. Okay, because this one was built in 71 and apparently doesn't have the ducts either. That is odd. Oh, but what's that? See, there's a register here. So, yeah, okay, I think you said in one of them they had added it. Okay, so this is basic. That's decently move-in ready deal. Okay. All right, so that's decently move-in ready one at 299. That's an okay comp. I'd like to see something a little bit more recent. Here we go. Here's more recent. Ooh. Ouch. But look at this. So you're thinking about offering like 225, but see this hurts. This is a 262 comp and you're looking at inheriting a smoker property. It's going to cost you way more than the difference between 225 and 262 to potentially get rid of that smoker smell. That's risky. So one thing to have stinky, smelly carpet. It's another thing to have a smoker smell. That smoker smell is going to take up a lot of that gap between yours and Flagler. So Flagler actually hurts me as a comp. And this property, yeah, no pictures of it. So it's kind of an old comp. So be careful on that. We'll finish off here by answering some questions here in the live, but just I don't know. The smoker properties do make me nervous. I know I've mentioned that a lot now, but it's just the more I think about it, the more I think there's probably either an easier deal for you to get or move on to something that ultimately I don't know, you can actually get a wedge on because if you got deals selling for between 260 to 299 and you're at 225, 230, you're gonna have to spend that money, the difference there to get to your 260. You're low. You should be so well below the low that basically you could find something for 225 and you spend 25 into it. There should be no comps near there. Everything should be like 275 plus at least, kind of doubling that wedge. The 261 makes me a little nervous. I do feel better about the 300 comp, but maybe if you were going to keep pursuing that property, get proposals on that smoke remediation, then follow up with testimonials from that company. So that way you have a price and a verified company that's legit that's going to get rid of that smoker problem. Let's do one more. I'm just motivated to do one more here. Let's do Woody's deal. And Woody, you come to the chat all the time. Let's do end of live for you. End of live. All right, let's do one more here. So Zillow link, and you got a single family. It's a 2 and 2, 3,000 square feet. Tough to find comps. Old flat roof swimming pool. Open concept. Okay. So a little bit extra liability with swimming pools. Make sure you check to see what your actual requirements are for controlling a property as a rental that has a pool. Sometimes there are more city requirements or insurance requirements that you have to follow. So keep that in mind. That is definitely a potential risk factor. So your deal is it's $600,000. It's listed as a hot home. Wait, how has your home been on the market for 3 days? Is that accurate? Single family, Spicewood. Okay. Zillow link if not, or Redfin if not available. Okay. Or okay. I don't know how it's been on the market 3 days and you posted this like a week ago, but okay. So flat roof, a little bit more maintenance intensive. Love the open concept though. Wow, this is incredible. Nice 70s properties. I mean, this is like such a classic ranch style, kind of spread out, open concept. Nice property, honestly. Basic cosmetics here, light fixtures, carpet, wallpaper, paint, flooring. They actually stage this nicely. Cabinets, you can refinish these. These look like quality cabinets. This looks like a good deal just by looking at it that briefly in Austin. I like this so far. Let's see where in Austin this is, though. Okay, I know Austin. So, okay, you're close to pretty much Cedar Park, but that's okay. Yeah, and then the comps that you've got one that sold here in April for 854, but it's 500 square feet more. 500 square feet more, has the pool remodeled. This is good. That's a really good comp. I mean, even though it has that square footage, it's in a similar area. This is good. This probably honestly has multiple offers. If it's listed for 6. Okay, and then you've got one that's a similar square footage, sold in July for 752. And again, yours is at 600. See, this is wedgy. I like this because you could literally dump 50 grand, call it 70 grand. I would probably spend 70 grand on the property. You put 70 into it. You're into it for 670. I can then add another 70 on top of that, and I'm still below this $752,000 comp because then I'm into the deal, for 740. So I might even be open to paying 610, 615, 620 for the deal. This is good. This is what I like. I like it when it's just I've got and even though they've got these, nice flooring. I mean, this one's actually basic. And some of the things in that property are super basic. But even though this one's got the fancy cabinets and the fancy lights and all that stuff, like, don't worry, they're getting pulled back to market. Like, they're not getting all the money for that. You could go rental grade, nice basic quality, and get the majority of the value here. That's a really, really good comp. Here's one from July that sold for 620. Oh, that's a low comp. This better be a fixer, otherwise it's a problem. So looking at the comps, it's definitely dated. Acoustic ceiling, carpet, the light fixtures, the wall, the kitchen, good. It's basically original like yours, which gives you a little bit of a guide that they actually priced it pretty well for the condition that it is. So that's good, and then, hey, if you have to pay full price for it, that's okay. I don't know that I'd want to exceed 620. See, the fixers here, 610, original condition. Look at that, original condition, selling for 610. So you're really reiterating that. And this one's a lot larger. Honestly, this person got the steal here. Whoever got this is 600 square feet more. This is the person who got the steal. So this now could potentially indicate that you might actually have to pay less than the listing price to align with the as-is comps. But if you have multiple offers, it could be that the market shifted a little bit and that you do have to pay above. So first thing you got to do is you got to get on the phone with your agent and find out if this place has multiple offers and try to figure out what you can to see, where this is going out at. So, wow, this is why. Okay, this one's bad. What happened here? Where is this? What? Is this one just have a tiny lot or something? Or look at this. Here's a property that looks nice that sold less for significantly less than what your fixer is, and it's completely remodeled. There has to be something unique about this property because that does not make sense. It's got to be like lot size or something. So do we have, okay, this is 0.3 acres and the one you're looking at 0.3, that's weird. Why would this place sell for, $593? That makes me nervous because every other comp, like we literally just went through, remodeled $850, remodeled $752, fixer or original condition $620, original condition $610. We have like the perfect brackets. Why all of a sudden is there a comp here that sold for $593? What happened? Was this a short sale? This is a weird comp. Talk to your agent because there's something wrong with this comp or it's in a different neighborhood. Very weird. Very weird. All right. So let's see. Let's see what questions we got here. Okay. Looks way small. Let's see. Yeah, it did look way smaller, but the square footage on it, it says it's 3,200, which is a slightly larger, but it does look a lot smaller. Yeah. If you love the neighborhood, Andy, that's okay. I'm all for it. Get bids on that smoker thing. Tag me in Discord. Let me know what you think. I put my deal in last live stream. Can you look at my deal? Name on Discord is true to get. I'm just going down the list. Let me see how far down you are. There's you posted yours on Tuesday. So I've got, how many do I have ahead of yours? We've got actually not that many. Let me see here. Next live stream is going to be Will for Mayor, Coop. That's 2. Martin. We already did Benjamin's, Andrew T, Chris. We got 2 more, 7, 8. Woody has a different one, 9, and then yours, True Decay. Yours is like 1 to 2 lives out unless you write an offer on it. But in total, I've got 11, 12, 13, 14. In total, it looks like I've got about 15 deals to get through, and usually each live stream I get through about 8 to 9 of them. So within the next couple, I'll hit yours up. Unless you write an offer, put pen to paper, and I will analyze your deal first up in the next stream. So folks, there you have it. We will see you in the next live stream. And stay tuned for those new lectures coming out November 1st. Appreciate all of you, and until next time.